looking back again, dragged by the force of some inner tide. At a higher altitude, the flag unfurled. We reached the dizzy heights of that dreamed of world. Encumbered forever by desire and ambition, there's a hunger still unsatisfied. Our weary eyes still stray to the horizon, though down this road we've been so many times. The grass was green and